Yes, yes, yes. Have a little faith. We're having a little faith in that one that's inside us, the light that's inside us. We're having a little faith because that light is what the universe longs to behold. The light in you is your power. The light in you is what allows you to give your love to the world. It's the vehicle for the love that you are. That light is the vehicle for everything you do, for everything that you are, for all the truth that you say, for everything that you share with another. That's what you're sharing, is the light. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It could be the simplest things like putting an ornament on the tree, but it's filled with light. Did you fill it with light? Did you? Yeah, so you can do that each and every day. You can do that when you're cooking a meal for your loved ones. You can do that when you're cleaning your house or when you're making your bed or when you don't make your bed. Do it with light. Throw those covers on the floor. Who cares? Just do it with light. You like that idea. Just do everything with light, with love, because that's what you are. The light in you is what heals the world. And it reminds me of the light in me. When I see you all lit up and you're happy and you're joyful like you are right now, wow, I can't help myself. I know that light is in me because I'm seeing it. You're a reflection for all the people around you. And when you are being the light of the world, you're giving them permission to do the same. So whatever you thought you were waiting for, it's right here, right now. It's contained in the light that is you. Today we're going to remember the joy of shining our light. And we're going to have faith that shining our light will always bring us more of what we need and want, more of the love that we know is true. We all know that the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, really is love. If you read 1 John chapter 4, it tells you like 10 times, God is love. Come on, it's not anything else. God is love. So that means love is God. If it's not loving, it's not God. It just keeps telling you that over and over again. It's like, wow, I really needed to hear that 20 times. And so that's why we get together, to remind each other through shining our light that the light is what you really are. So on this first day of Advent, I want to read from our little Christmas Unity book. These are amazing. Unity Worldwide Ministries puts these out, and we had a bunch of them. I think we gave them all away. So you all should have one of these. And you don't have to look at it because someone, Lily's middle name is someone. Someone made this beautiful slide for us. And it is in the first day of Advent, which is hope and faith. On this day of Advent, I practice seeing beyond the circumstances. That's what we need to practice. Remember in the beginning, I said we need to practice? This is what we practice. Seeing beyond the circumstance, seeing beyond what is physically presented to us, because I can behold the Christ light in myself and in everyone I know. But I have to look beyond the circumstances to do that. And I place my faith in this truth until it fills my consciousness and what? Becomes my life. And I can honestly say that it has become my life. Seeing beyond the circumstances and seeing the Christ in everyone has become my function in life. And I know it's going to show up in everything that I do because that's my intention. And I'm strengthened by that intention. I am given everything from the universe that I need to fulfill my intentions. Remember last week we were talking about giving thanks because where our attention goes, energy flows. And so the energy is flowing towards your intentions. Have the intention of seeing the Christ. I love it because first in myself and then in everyone around me. Because I'm going to be only seeing the light that I am projecting or extending from me, and you will see it reflected. And you say, wow, that's what I am. I can do that. That's what I am. So I'm going to place my faith which is what we're doing today, in this truth, until it fills my consciousness, becomes my mind becomes absorbed in the truth, and then it will become my life. The tradition of Advent really is marking the days to the coming of the light. And the first people that really celebrated Advent were really pagan rituals that people would be waiting for the solstice, right? At the end of December, the days are going to start getting longer. When are the days going to start? Well, as soon as the solstice comes, then we know the days will start getting... And if you live in New England and it's 4 o'clock and you feel like going to bed, you're going to have to practice this principle. Waiting for the light. The days will get longer. When? Oh, when will the days be? Well, starting December 24th, the days start. Really? I don't believe that. I'm going to have a little faith. Because when it's 4:30 and, really, it's not even dinner time yet and you want to go to sleep, it's hard to remember that at one time the sun stayed out until 8 at night. That we were walking on the beach at sunset at 8 at night. Now we went to the beach 3:59 was what's going on? Right? So I'm going to have to practice a little faith. And this is what they did. Especially in the northern countries and in cold countries, they would put one of these on their table and they would light the candle. This is the first week, second week, fourth week. Now the days are going to start getting longer. And so the Christians adopted this ritual, the coming of the light, coming of the Christ. Oh, that makes sense. So symbolically, it really fit well. The only thing is, from all the historical evidence that we've gathered, that it's very, extremely unlikely that Jesus from Nazareth was born in December 25th. So they said, that's okay. We've always celebrated on December 25th the coming of the light. So we'll just do that. And it's really great because although it's historically almost impossible that he was born on that day, it's really symbolically correct because the coming of the light into human consciousness was signified with the birth of Jesus. And so we do celebrate the coming of the light into our consciousness. So December 25th is perfect. It's a week late after solstice. I don't know why we did that, but probably had something to do with the Industrial Revolution. I don't know. Who the heck knows these? I could spend a lot of time studying those things, but I'd rather look at the symbolic importance of it. So what's important to me is we are having faith of the coming of the light in our consciousness. We have great examples of it in the life of Jesus, in the birth of Jesus, and how this filling of his consciousness of truth became his life. And so we can do the same thing. I think one of the things that we need to do is look at Advent really as just about the light, the coming of the light in our consciousness. And this is somebody who I think, I like this person. I see the Christ in this person and in others. And so Advent is really about the light. It's the return of light into our human consciousness and the evolution of the Christ consciousness in all of us. Because that's really what we're doing. What we're here to do is evolve. And we need to evolve in a consciousness of oneness, of wholeness, consciousness of love, a consciousness of healing, of the power of God flowing through us. The Christ is in, not just in, but is every one of us. The thing is, we put layers over the top of it, and we create something that looks opposite. Like, we have all of these desires, we have these complaints, we have this competition, we have all of these things going on with us that do not speak of wholeness. And so obviously that's not a Christ consciousness. We attack one another. We still have wars and we still kill one another. We have poor people. Why is all this stuff even possible? Because we deny our Christ consciousness. That's why. And so the answer to it is to raise our Christ consciousness. It's the only way. You know, when Bruce came up and he gives our introduction, I always like to state the vision of Unity Worldwide Ministries, because there are thousands, probably millions of people who are connected through the same vision. That's the world being powerfully transformed through one thing. The shared movement. I mean, we don't even, that's why we need to say it every week. Powerfully transformed by the growing movement of our shared spiritual awakening. We're going to keep saying it. It's a growing movement. It's evolution. It's evolving. It's growing. But it is shared. It's our shared spiritual awakening. So however far you've come in your own spiritual awakening, you're sharing that with everyone. And that's the important thing. You can always go back to the old way of thinking, see what that gets you. See where you end up when you're complaining about what's going on in the world, when you're saying they. Get that out of that's the least empowering thing you can do, is say they are doing this and they are doing that. And that's really where we find ourselves in the world today, is we're blaming them, whoever they are, on how we're feeling. And that's very disempowering. The most empowering words that you have are, I am. So instead of they, why not, I am, a powerful expression of the love of God in action? What's wrong with that? That's what we do Thursday night. The first thing we do is introduce ourselves. I am the light of the world. I am a powerful instrument of peace. I am healing action of God right here, right now. I am that. And when you say, I am, and follow it with a universal truth, amazing things happen. Incredible things happen. Miraculous things happen. No, I am part of a movement that is transforming this world through our shared spiritual awakening. And so are you. So let's keep it up. And let's have faith that it's working. That's the whole thing about today, is that I want us to really know that what we're doing is working. It's really having a positive result in the world. So when people were looking for answers in Jesus' time and asking, how do I do this? What's going on? Who are you? All these questions. He said he followed the I am with the light of the world. What's wrong with that? I am the light of the world. I am the light. And so instead of worshiping the first guy that said that, why don't you just say it for yourself? That's going to be really empowering. Because we might say, well, he said it or they said it, but no, I am saying it. I am the light of the world. And that is a fact. Whoever follows me means whoever practices higher consciousness is going to be in the light. You'll never walk in darkness because you will know that these spiritual principles are true. Why? Because you've practiced them for yourself. They've filled your consciousness and they've become your life. And I can honestly say, that's what is happening to me and continues to happen. But it's not going to happen if you focus your mind on everything going on out there. You need to bring it back home. I am the light of the world. Now, the next thing that he said, almost immediately to his disciples, are, you are the light of the world. Okay, you're the light of the world, dude. We'll worship you. And he says, no, wait, you're the light of the world. Come on, you're already having this experience with me. So a city that is set on a hill or a person having this experience, you can't hide that. You are light, or you are shining light. Bob, you can't hide it. You are light, man, and you are shining it. And it's going to look just the way it looks in you. And each and every one of you are a unique expression of that light. You are the light of the world, just as you are. We say that to our children every week, that we accept you just the way you are. We see the light in you, and we accept you just the way you are. The way that you are shining the light is perfect. It's awesome. And I need you to shine the light just the way you are. You don't have to be different to shine your light. Shine it right now, just the way you are. Shine your light. I know you can do it. You can do it, Bruce. Yeah. That's why he wears those peppermint striped tie. What's that, the barbershop tie? Candy cane. Candy cane. That's a candy cane tie. That's pretty cool. So that's how he's shining the light with that candy cane tie. But if you are the light of the world, you're going to be exposed. You're out in the open. A city set on a hill can't be hidden. And neither do you light your lamp. Okay, so you're practicing spiritual principles. You're not going to have to stay home and hide that light. You're not going to be able to do that because you can't turn on your light and then hide it. You can't put it under a basket. You have to put it up on the lampstand so everyone in the house can see it. That's a reference to how they lived, in a home where if there was a candle, if there was a light or an oil lamp, that gave light to everyone in the house. They would all gather around it. Why use everybody's oil up or burn out your candles? So you never would light your light and then hide it from the rest of the family. That could cause trouble. No, they put their light out so everyone could see. And that's what we're called to do, to have faith that that light is going to be seen, it's going to be felt by people, it's going to have an effect in your world in a powerful way. I'm looking at two powerful lights back there, Paul and Carolyn Hebert. They're fairly quiet people, but boy, do they shine their light in this community. I am so grateful for you and your unique expression of that. So when it seems dark, I'm going to read you something. When it seems like the sun's never going to come back after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever's going on, when there's a challenge in your life, you have to remember this faith. Faith does not depend on physical facts. This is Emily Cady from her Complete Works. And she says, faith does not depend on physical facts or the evidence of the senses because it is born of intuition. So you all have an intuition of the truth, of what's going to happen. You have an intuition of what is positive, of really your highest good. You have an intuition of what needs to occur in each and every situation. You have feelings and intuitions that go beyond the senses, the 5 senses. You have deeper spiritual senses. And Emily Cady says it's born of intuition. It doesn't say that that's all there is, but these spiritual senses are born there. It is born of intuition. And it is a great knowing, and it brings about all these synchronicities that you think, wow, that's so cool. How did that happen? It happened because you were listening to your intuition, and you were putting into practice, into the universe, the universal consciousness, your spiritual powers, born of your spiritual senses. We'll talk more about that after the holidays, okay? So don't think you're just coming around for Christmas. After the holidays, we're going to start really igniting our spiritual intelligence, okay? Sound good? All right. And our spiritual senses, we're going to enliven them, and we are going to turn on our spiritual powers. Yes, she says, yes. It's the most fun in town. And we get good music while we're doing it. What do you think of that? Okay, so this evidence is born of your intuition, right? Bruce, in the introduction, read from the scripture that faith is the evidence of things not seen. It's the evidence born of intuition. You just know it. You just know it. It's in there and you know it. And it's the Spirit of truth, ever living at the center of our being. Its action is infinitely higher than that of reason, for it is founded on truth. My personal story about this is right in front of me today. My daughter, Crystal, is here. She lives in Los Angeles, so we don't see each other a lot. And she went to Los Angeles at 16 months old. So I was quite astounded that somebody that young could be taking road trips and deciding to live on the other side of the country. But it really worked out for her. She was adopted by her aunt. And it was, at that time, the sun setting at 3:59 in the afternoon for me. It was one of the darkest moments in my life because I was raising my son. I was a single father, and I thought I was a good dad, and I really wanted my baby with me. And it wasn't what was in the cards. And I had to have faith that someday we'd be reunited. I had to have faith that this was for her highest good, that her spirit, her soul chose to do this. And so after I got through my dark times and my counseling and a lot of crying, and I thought I'd never stop, something miraculous happened to me. I learned faith. I learned faith from a deep internal experience, an intuition that there was something greater meant for my life and for her life, and that I couldn't physically do it in this particular time, that I wasn't supposed to raise her as her dad. But I always wanted her to know that I was her dad and that we were connected and that I loved her so much. And everything I wanted for her life has come true. And all my fears have disappeared. And her adopted mom became her best friend. And she, has done all the things that I would want for somebody to do in life. And now she's the executive director of a summer camp for children with heart disease. She helps kids. Yeah. No, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing program because they give it all away for free. She raises all the money and gives it all away to them for free. And I watched some of the videos. It's called Camp del Corazon. It's in Catalina Island. And some of the kids were like, they have heart disease. They might not make it. And some of them haven't. But for those few weeks that they're together, they say, this is the best time of my life. I've never experienced anything like this. And to hear these testimonies coming out of these young people who are having these incredible experiences, you can remember perhaps in your life some of the experiences you had that changed your life. That's what's happening there. Yeah. And so, wow, am I grateful for that. And I wouldn't be here probably if she didn't go to California. I'd still be building houses. And you saw what happened when they didn't nail down the roof of the hotel over there. The tornado just took it right off. I'm just kidding about that. Just for the OSHA people watching YouTube. I had nothing to do with nailing that roof down. It was him. I swear I gave the nail gun to this guy. But that was having faith. I had to have faith because it was many, many years. We finally were reunited and are reunited. We finally got reunited 4 years ago. And probably 20 years after I expected. But that all needed to happen. I got to travel around South America teaching A Course in Miracles. I got to meet my soulmate, the love of my life, Liliana, in Colombia. And I got to be here finally pastoring a church, which is what I always wanted to do from, I think I was probably 16 years old. I knew intuitively this is what I should be doing. And it took all that time to unfold. So allow it to unfold. Don't push the universe. The universe has already given you everything. We've never been separate. You know, I always felt like all of my prayers were answered immediately. You know, we had some very incredible meetings when you were young. You would tell me things that I was praying about. You didn't even know that you were doing that. Because I would tell you things in my prayers, and then when we met, she told me them. I was like, there's no way that she could have known that. There's absolutely no way. And I think you were probably 9 years old. I visited you one time in California, and she showed me the place she goes out to meditate. And this is before you were really into meditation and all of that kind of thing. It's natural. It was a natural calling of the Spirit. And I'm so grateful that all that was happening. It had to happen the way it happened. I won't say it might not have happened. It happened perfectly. So I don't have to second guess because everything is unfolding perfectly in divine order, in divine timing, with grace, with ease, and with great love. As long as you keep that light going, the connection is never lost. Keep that light going. Keep the connection of your heart. That's what all we need to do is to know that we are ever connected by the Spirit. To have faith that is true. And to have faith that the light is coming. That we might have to count some days before it comes. But the light is always here. And it will always manifest exactly how you need it. So I'm so grateful it's come to this place today where we get to share, my favorite place in the whole world with my daughter and her partner. And my favorite people in the whole world. I said, you be careful, they're going to maul you.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Yeah, because we love to love. And so that's why we're here. And I want you to have faith that your love is being felt. Not just by me, but by all the people that are in my life that you don't even know about. The thousands of people that I know around the world. All the Course in Miracles people. All the people that I got to learn from and to teach over these years. All have been connected to everyone in my life. So take advantage of it. Because there's a lot there. There is a lot of experience. There's a lot of immersion in the truth until it has filled my consciousness and become my life. And the last thing is just keep being grateful. Last week we read the Gratitude Bowl, all the wonderful things that you guys are grateful for. I want to read one more thing from Emily Cady. And it's how gratitude or thanksgiving is the catalyst for faith. There's something about the mental act of thanksgiving that seems to carry the human mind far beyond that region of doubt into a clear atmosphere of faith and trust, where all things are possible. And I would add, not only possible, but all things are certain. All things are already here. Everything is already yours. Everything that you wish and desire is already present. It's here, not just around you, but within you, waiting to be manifest into the world. And it will be manifest according to your pace. It will keep pace with your transformation of mind. It will keep pace with your opening of your heart. It will keep pace with how much love you can receive. And so our only job is really to open ourselves to receiving more, to having faith that everything we desire is here and now. I love you guys.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.